Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and I'm really looking forward to getting to do some restorative yoga with us this evening. A little bit just out of safety to not have to worry about ice and getting to the studio. And it feels good to be back on the live streaming channel. So um, I'm going to give it a little bit of time, let folks arrive. If you're new to streaming with us, feel free to type into the chat and let me know, hey, how you doing, and that you're here for our restorative yoga. If you don't already have some things and stuff, maybe get a pillow or a blanket or both, as well as your mat. If you have a block, please feel free to get your block so that if we're doing any elevation of the hips, it might be comfortable to be able to have some blocks with you. And if you don't have any of that, that's perfectly fine. Just make yourself comfortable in your home space. We're really going to be staying on the floor today, so you don't even need a lot of room. So if you want to move a little bit of stuff out of the way so that you're not feeling cramped, feel free to go ahead. So it is good to see everyone. Mariana, hand to pinky waving. I love it. Hi, Karen. Good to see you here. Hi, Carrie. Well, that's great, Carrie. I'm glad that you're here, and I certainly would love to have you pop into the studio. Come on by this weekend if you like. Restorative is every Thursday at 7 p.m. If you have any questions, feel free to pop it in here before we get started. I'll try to come up and check if anyone is doing any chats while we are in class, but I may not be able to do all of that amount of multitasking. So once again, hello to anyone who is just joining in. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. You're in chez moi, in my home broadcast studio. So you may see some of my yoga partners, AKA my fur babies. So Puma is a black cat that you will likely see walking around on me once we get real comfy cozy, because she likes her yoga practice just as much as I do. And my dog Karma. But my dog doesn't really dig the yoga as much as the cat does. All right, today we are going to start seated. So do have all of your props and stuff around. Wear something comfy. Heck, I hope all of you are at home. So, get yourself into your comfy clothes. Hopefully you've got a nice environment where maybe play some light music if you like, or light some incense. Get your lighting the way that you like it. And if you've got family around, have them join in. This is best as a community of feeling all of our energy. And once somebody feels someone else letting go, it can be contagious, right? That letting go and that quiet, peaceful space. Sharing that is far better than sharing any of our frustration and our stress. Let's let that be contagious. Okay, I see more folks are popping in, so please feel free to say hello in the chat. And otherwise, I am going to get us started. And with that, we're going to start in a seated space. And I would really love to recommend that if you can, go ahead and get your back up against something. Okay, so up against a wall. If you're near a sofa, go ahead and have your back supported at the sofa. And then here's Puma, as I said. So you can have your back resting up against out, 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 out. Sorry, talking to the dog. You can have your low back, your upper back resting, fully supported, even your head. And you do not have to be sitting cross-legged, okay? So if you would prefer to have your legs sitting out in front of you, maybe put some soft pillows or blankets under your knees, feel free to start there. We're practicing a restorative practice this evening where we'll still connect, yoga, meaning connection. We'll connect with our bodies and our breath and our mind, but we will be in a more soothing space, not a rapid flow for any of us who practice vinyasa or flow yoga, okay? This is a practice that's meant to help us connect with what our body is asking of us, what our spirit is asking of us, and to give it the time and the space to be heard and for us to actually respond with what it needs. Okay? So, this is a healing and soothing practice. So, I'll have us go ahead and get started and just jump on in, anyone who is just joining us. So, we'll start sitting. I prefer to have my legs crossed, having the spine supported against the wall if possible. Your eyes could be open or closed. And let's just take a few moments to let our awareness come into the room, come into the time of evening. Come into the day of the week. And then allow your awareness to start to arrive in your body. What does that mean? Let my ability to notice, scan my whole body. And sometimes it's good to just do it progressively from the bottom up or from the top down. And just ticker tape it through your head. Oh, my toes, what do I feel? My ankles, what do I feel? Is there warmth? Is there tension? Is there an ache? Are there sections of me I don't feel at all? So we'll take a few moments and breath to just let our observation notice what the physical body is telling us. Mine is telling me it's a little agitated in between the shoulder blades, and a little calm and soothed. I've had a fairly relaxing day, so I feel kind of settled and a little tense in between the shoulders. Now let's invite our awareness into the breath and just notice whatever you can notice about your breath. Don't try to change the breath right now. Just let it do what it does and follow it. Follow the areas of the body that you feel moving with the breath. Notice the sensations of the breath and how your breath makes you feel. For those of us who have chosen to have our back up against a wall or the sofa, just accept that support. Let your body just lean into it. Now bring your awareness into you. Call it your spirit, call it your consciousness. And just ask of yourself, how are you? And listen for that genuine response. And I'll invite us to bring the hands to the heart center at the Anjali Mudra. And based on what we've heard in our body, our breath, and our true inner selves, what they need, set an intention for your practice. It could be a simple word, kindness. It could be a simple phrase, I am worthy of my attention. It can be love, whatever that intention is, and just hold that close to your heart. And let our awareness just stay on our breath and our intention as we practice today. And when you're ready, I'll just invite us to let the right ear start to drop toward the right shoulder. This is particularly wonderful and relaxing if we are leaning up against a wall, having our back supported. And just start to notice how willing the left side of the neck is to allow this bend in. Start to notice the chest, the upper back. Don't force anything, just let the body gradually let this bend in. And bring your awareness into the breath. And just experience your being right here. Maybe things are shifting. Maybe you notice resistance. Just breathe and experience what is. If you start to find great discomfort, please adjust. Maybe come out of the posture. Maybe don't bend so far. And then I'll invite us to let the chin start to lower down toward the chest. If you do have your back supported on a surface, try to let that upper back rest onto the wall, onto that surface, and just feel gravity taking your head, letting the neck tilt down. Feel its natural stopping point, and breathe. Remember your intention. Scan and track the muscles on your back and neck. What's moving and shifting, what's gotten stuck. What feels good. Follow the breath. Let the belly do the breathing. And then we'll gradually start to lower the left ear toward the left shoulder. Feeling the support of the wall or the sofa, whatever we are supported against. Letting the weight of the head pull and elongate the neck. Fall into the rhythm of your breath. Soften around any intensity. And then when you're ready, we'll allow the chin to roll back down toward the center of the chest, feeling the muscles return, the body return to a neutral centered space. And we'll gently lift the head back up. And notice what you're feeling, the sensations in the neck, the chest, the upper back. Now we'll start to work toward a side bend. Again, you could keep your back supported against the wall, and we'll place the left hand to the floor. Or if you have gotten your pillows and blankets out, maybe provide a raised surface here. I'm using a pillow for myself. And I'm allowing that left hand to slide down. My back is supported up against that wall or sofa. And just see how far the body wants to go with ease. Now, if you've got that wall behind you, you might want to explore letting the arm, that right arm, come up and let it rest on the wall, feeling this support. If we're freestanding, I would just go ahead and let that hand rest down by the hip. Soften around anything that's fighting, that's clenching. Follow your breath. And track what you're noticing in the hip, the waist, the side, the ribs. Let whatever is heavy sink heavy. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the body slowly give you more trust as it's letting go. Hold your intention close to you. I am in my body, in my breath, listening to what my body needs and wants. No sharp movements as we guide the body back upright, feeling it return. Feel the stages and gradual nature of this shifting, this releasing. If you have chosen to have your legs crossed, it might feel good to switch the crossing of the leg. And we'll bring our pillow, if you are using one, over to the other hip. And when you're ready, we'll start to let this upper body just slide down sideways. And we get to notice the differences from side to side. You could always just let the head go and let the gaze come down to the right. And then remember, if you have support for your back, you could invite reaching the left arm up, letting it rest on the wall behind you. I wouldn't do this if we don't have that support. It can create more strain than we're looking for in this restorative practice. Bring your awareness into the breath. Feel the inhale flowing in and completing itself. Feel the exhale going out and completing itself. Simple acceptance of our bodies and our being as they are. Let the body gradually soften, letting this bend, this movement into the body. And take your time, and it doesn't have to be now, as we bring ourselves back upright. And notice the muscles in your waist, your hips, your spine, letting the memory of that last movement go, arriving and feeling where we are now. And if you would like, we'll bring the pillow out in front of us. And if our legs are crossed, we can widen them out just a little bit. And you might need to take a pillow and stack blankets here as well. And if you know that the backs of your legs are very tight, you could keep them slightly bent here. And we'll start to invite the upper body to come forward. And if you'll notice, I've got my forearms giving me some support here so that I'm not putting too much pressure on the back for it to lower down too quickly. As I'm breathing and checking in, if the back is gradually lowering me down or if it wants to stop. And mine is starting to kind of melt into this. And so now I'm letting my arms kind of reach forward so that more of my chest and belly can come down into the support of the pillow. And if you need to rest your head on your hands, or if your head is nowhere near going down to your hands, that's fine. And experience up and down the back. Is the upper back letting this fold in? Or is it really resistant and holding itself upright? Are the muscles feeling stiff and resistant? Or are there some muscles that are actually melting and sagging into this? Follow the inhale. Follow your exhale. Feel your willingness to let go of what anything needs to look like. And with a lot of love and compassion, sit with what we're feeling in our bones, in our tissues. Restore some harmony, restoring a little peace. Maybe just becoming acquainted with peace. And we'll gradually start to bring ourselves back upright. And we're just going to come straight upright, feeling the body return, recognizing that everything passes. And in the cycles of life, everything also returns. So feel how the body feels now in this return. What's already been shed, what's a little lighter, or maybe a little more raw. We'll set our pillow aside and invite ourselves to bring the feet together. I would encourage you not to hike the heels super close to the pelvis. So just let it be a relaxed space here. So maybe the heels are a little further away. And we'll invite a gentle twist, walking the hands around, and just sit upright and barely twist here. Just let the arms hang, relaxing the belly, encouraging ourselves to feel the roundness, the fullness, the abundance of our belly flesh. Try not to tense the belly muscles. We arrive here on our mat, accepting ourselves as we are, not holding anything in, not sucking anything up. Feeling the breath coursing into us and out of us. And then I'll invite us to just apply a little bit of energy in the arms to twist the waist. Shoulders at ease. We don't need to hike those shoulders up at all. And feel the natural stop point in the waist where there's no more twist to be had. And then don't apply any more pressure, but just say, okay, I'm just going to hold. Relax my neck, relax my shoulders, and breathe. Feeling this coil, this spiral, rising up as I breathe in and spiraling back downward as I breathe out. Watching it happen, feeling it happen. And we'll gently release, coming back, returning, reconnecting with feeling the breath in this return neutral space. Notice the sensations in your arms, your hands, your feet. And when you're ready, we'll position the arms for the other side. Again, not imposing any energy in those arms, just sitting upright, letting it be simple, letting it be subtle. Feeling the top of the head growing tall. Feeling our tailbone sinking down. And then maybe start to apply a little energy in those arms, revolving and twisting in the waist until there's no more movement that happens easily. Check in with the amount of stress and strain that you're applying in those arms. Accept the stop point. Accept this as your own inner boundary. And just love what the body has been willing to give us here, and just breathe. I am in my body. I am in my breath. I am feeling and experiencing my being in this shape. If you notice anything that's uncomfortable, make an adjustment. Maybe back off. If the mind is wandering, how long are we going to be here? Is this ever going to speed up? Be nice to yourself and breathe and say, I can just be right here. This is enough. This is enough. And then we'll gently release out of that twist when we're ready. Feel that return. Maybe reconnect with the breath. You may want a pillow out in front of you, either crossways or lengthwise. I actually think I'm going to go lengthwise. And then just as we did with the legs lengthened out in front of us, maybe just allow that upper body to start to come forward. Notice the body parts that are talking. Maybe it's in the inner thighs. Perhaps we're aware of the belly. Maybe you're feeling that low back or the shoulders. Soften and let go. And just follow wherever the body wants to go and breathe. Feel the body's weight. Feel what feels light in the body. And let whatever feels light be light. Whatever feels heavy, let it be heavy. And feeling the true weight and density of ourselves. Not what we're carrying, but coming to know and feel our own density. And let it go. Tell your body that you trust it and let it go. Inhales completing themselves. Exhales completing themselves. Maybe the body is sinking steadily. Maybe there are areas that are starting to talk with a little more intensity. Notice with calm, loving kindness. And we'll start to allow that body to come upright. No rush. Feel the stages of the rise. And feel the body coming back to that return. Let gravity start to pull downward on the chest, on the spine. And I'll invite us to take our time and start to shift our practice now to our child's pose. If your knees are sensitive to pressure, feel free to place a blanket down underneath of your knees. I actually have a really padded surface underneath of my mat, so it's a little extra yummy on my joints. And then I would invite you to go ahead and bring your pillow or your stack of blankets underneath of you, kind of straddling. And we'll let the body come down into child's pose, supported in this nice, comfy, cozy space. And adjust your head so that there's no pressure or strain on your neck. See if you can let the chest rest. Maybe play around with where you want to start with those arms. Maybe you'd rather have those arms behind or out wide or out in front of you. And then let's just recenter again, bringing our awareness into the room. Our awareness in the time of day, the day of the week. Come all the way into space and time of where you are. And then invite your awareness into the body. If your neck is turned, maybe you'll want to turn the neck on the other side by now. And feel all the sensations in the body. What feels heavy and dense? Any tingles? Any spacious freedom? Feel the front of the body, the back of the body. And when we breathe in, notice everything that feels light and airy and effortless. And when we breathe out, let go of all of the heaviness. Just let it sink. Let it drain downward. Inhaling, completing itself. Maybe you could draw in a longer, slower inhale. Exhale, completing itself. Inhaling, renewal, refreshing. Exhaling, releasing. Feel the cycle. Life is a constant cycle. Feel it going through us. No destination, just being. And when you're ready, I'll invite us to just shift forward. Shift forward. Breathing, feel the arms supporting our body weight. Maybe your eyes are closed. And then shifting it back. We'll just start a little bit of shifting, little fluid movement. Notice the body responding to a little bit of continual, gradual movement back and forth. Notice how it kind of changes your mindset. Can you just say, okay, I'm just going to still stay and feel the body responding, feeling different pressure points, becoming heavier, receiving more pressure, and then feeling pressure alleviating. Spaciousness, openness, and shifting. By all means, continue or take a rest back in child's posture, but we'll all eventually come forward, no rush. There's nothing for you to catch up to. You are in your experience, connecting with it. Stay at some spots if you want. If that pillow is lengthwise, I would invite it to come crossways. Now I'll invite us to bring the right arm underneath of us and placing it as far under us as we can, but we get to have the pillow as a support for the head so that we're not putting a ton of pressure on that shoulder. And then let the body go. This is the kind of practice that it's perfectly fine. Like if I had more time with you all, I would do maybe 10, 12 breaths here. And then I would get a smaller pillow or remove it altogether and then let the head come down. But I would love to kind of step down in gradual steps. Listen to that right arm and shoulder. Feel its willingness to let this stretch in and let blockages go. Staying with a soothing, loving breath. Practicing giving ourselves the time we actually need to catch up, to actually feel, and to let go. Follow the flow of your breath from the nostrils down into the low back. Feel your body as a vessel inviting the breath. Letting the breath and the body be partners. And your mind and your consciousness just get to observe, not be in charge. Stay if you want to stay. If you're ready to come out, we'll ease our way back out, coming back to that return to this neutral space. Not having the hips shifted all the way back, not leaning way far forward. Feel the middle of the spine. Let the belly muscles go. Let the belly hang. Feeling our own fullness, our own abundance. All of our soft, fluid bits. Then we'll tuck the toes and just feel the toes bending. Notice how many toes. See if you can try to engage with them. Notice how they're feeling to get that stretch. Feel the skin, the muscles. And gradually apply some downward pressure in the arms and some upward lift in the hips. Kind of sliding the body into downward facing dog. Letting the head drop down. Those knees can remain liberally bent. I strongly recommend. Feel the arms being our support. Can you soften that experience, especially if those arms are starting to say, oh, wait a minute. Breath, relax the neck. in and out with the breath. Gently lowering those knees down, feeling this gradual shifting as we bring the body down. And then untuck the toes and feel the body return. What's letting go of work? What's letting go of pressure? Where do we feel pressure starting to amplify? Well, I had removed my pillow out of the way, so I'm bringing it back. I'm going to thread the needle with the left arm, bringing the back of that shoulder as close to the floor as it'll go, resting the head on the pillow and letting the body weight sink. And maybe appreciate some differences. I'm feeling a different amount of pull and stretch reaching into my mid back here that I didn't feel on the other side. Softening around that intensity, remembering my intention. Let what's heavy be heavy. Allow what is light and effortless to be light and effortless. Follow the inhale from the nostrils into the belly. Follow the exhale from the belly through the chest, out the nostril. If you encounter intensity in your stretch, you can just reflect on, can I let myself feel this? Is there something I need to respond to? Is there a slight adjustment I can make and still stay while honoring something that's saying no inside of my body? Is it a no? Is it a slow down? Is it just a, I'm not familiar? Give me a moment to learn. And maybe move the pillow or get a smaller one just to feel a little bit more body weight sinking onto that arm. Maybe that's too much, and you go back to the bigger pillow. Scan the whole body. What is your waist experiencing? What are your fingers experiencing? Nothing is insignificant. It is all a part of us. What is your neck experiencing? And when you're ready, we'll start to ease the back of that arm out from under us, feeling the return. Notice what's changing in that left arm. What sensations are shifting and transforming in the back. When you're ready, we'll tuck the toes and reacquaint. What's different this time? Are you aware of more toes? Is that backward bending a little less intense, more soothing? When you're ready, if you want to explore another downward dog, see if you can ease your way into it. Take as much time as you need. Respect whatever those arms are saying, and if they're saying, no, I can't do this support, come down. Soften those knees. And be open to experiencing something that is uplifting, soothing. Where is it? Even if it's just in your breath, if it's in the thoughts in your mind. And we'll eventually bring those knees down. Feel this returning. Returning. And maybe invite some cat and cow. We've done very little repetitive flow. This is the second time, and so just feel the body responding to a slow, continual movement around the joints, in the fibers of your tissues, in the windpipe, in the belly. Good. All right, I'm going to start to invite us now to get ready for a supported pigeon. Coming up to just check a few things. All right. This is an option, but we're going to have our pillow or a folded up stack of blankets. I'm going to step this left leg across the pillow. For those of you who came last Thursday, this might seem a little familiar, okay? So I like to say I'm just going to sit on my nest. So I'm going to let myself sit on my nest. I'm going to bend that knee. And so now I've got my hips and my groin setting on this nice pillow nest. And this back leg is straight behind us. Whew, and probably are feeling some things. All right, your hands can be wherever you like. Come on back to that breath, recenter. Feel what's vertical in the body. And feel what's the highest part of the body and the lowest part of the body. Now you might want another set of pillows out in front of you, because you could bring yourself to resting on something a little higher, or just bring the hands out in front of you and just stop for a moment and breathe. Feel what's going on the back of that left leg. Some of us may be feeling some sensations in our back. Please make adjustments if you're feeling anything going to sleep, getting tingly. If the body is saying yes, maybe you come down a little bit further. That doesn't mean it's to where I'm going. Oh, this might be a little more intense because we're on this raised surface. And that raised surface tends to amplify the downward pull. The hips are up, but the legs are lower than the hips. That weight of the chest and belly are pressing down on those legs. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften the neck. Giving this body all of this loving, kind treatment as a thank you for all that it does, for all that it has done for us, even just today. Every step we took, everything we lifted, every tough conversation, every worry, every fear. We're not asking anything of the body right now. It just gets to be. We get to feel what's residing in it, screaming out of it in some cases. Maybe we're noticing subtle shifts. What was once a little more intense has started to soften. And we'll slowly start to come back to that return space. And please stay there if that's where you want to stay. If something in you is like, oh no, not yet. It was just starting to get good. It was just starting to let go. And when we're ready, we'll, as gracefully as we can, bring this left leg back. And we may feel the need to do some hip rotations here. Just moving, shifting. Listening to what our body wants. And then we can ask the right leg to step over if we're ready to join. Letting this groin space come and rest on that pillow. Bending that knee into like the shape of a 7. This back leg never has to be like perfectly straight or anything like that. We could, in fact, even bend it a little if that takes some of the pressure, the load off of the hips, off of the back. I'm going to straighten mine. And then just sit and come back to observing the physical body. Feeling just a tight band a little bit across my low back. And I'm only sharing, not to say that that's what you should feel, but I'm sharing to kind of give different descriptors of like, oh, yeah, maybe, am I feeling anything there? I'm feeling something in the front of this right hip. But my neck and my chest actually feel nice and squishy, loose and limp. Starting to feel some radiating stretch on the side of this right leg. Notice what's changing. And when you're ready, maybe start to come forward. This is a wonderful practice to help us start to notice subtle shifts. It's a good reminder that everything changes, nothing stays the same. And sometimes all we need to do in life is just pause, breathe, and let whatever it is pass. Whether it's an emotional stress, whether it's a conflict that we're dealing with another person, whether it's something in our own bodies. Maybe we're coming down a little further. Maybe you want to stay upright. And if I'm ever in anything longer than you wish to stay, please come out. Do something different. Yoga means to create a connection, union within ourselves. You're connecting with what's going on in your body and your breath, your spirit. I'm in mine. And we get to do this with honesty and with kindness. Listen to what this side of the body has to say here. Appreciate and love what's different here. Not trying to impose any expectation on this side or comparing it to the other. Inhales completing themselves. Feel the fullness of that inhale and the exhales completing themselves. Feel the release and the heaviness when we let go. However much you can let go. Even the tiniest bit of letting go. We don't get to judge it. We just get to be with it. Accept it and love it. And we'll gradually lift this upper body when we are ready. And then we'll find a way to, as gracefully as we can, and maybe that's sliding that leg back. And I definitely like a few hip rotations here. Feeling a different kind of ache. Releasing ache, this radiating release of energy that felt like it had been trapped in there. Feeling that joint be a little more free. All right, so here I'll invite us to either use our pillow or stack of blankets, or if you have a yoga block, to get a yoga block. If you want to use your blanket or your pillow, just go ahead and set your bottom onto the pillow. We're going to lie back down. If we're not going to use the pillow, we'll come down. Feel the body rest and return. So those who are on the pillows are already there. They're like, good, I'm here, check. No more worries. If we've got the block, we'll gently lift the hips. Gave the body some time to settle. And now we'll lift the hips and slide the block underneath of the tailbone, the sacrum, not the small of the back, not the curve in the small of the back, a little lower than that. And then just let yourself be supported and held up on that block. Arms however you would like them to be. And feel the back of the body facing the earth. This is our first time reclined. We've been gradually coming down, down, down from sitting upright to facing the floor, facing the earth, to now facing the heavens. Follow your breath. Feel your hips letting go. Notice for any subtle clenching, squeezing going on in the groin, in the back, in the buttocks. Can you feel the neck and the head still sinking? Heavier, heavier. If you would like, we'll straighten the legs. Now, if you have back pain, this may amplify some back pain, creating a twinge, pinching, and if so, just walk those legs back in. And then feel the difference. Feel the difference of the pull of weight on the body, in the legs and the hips. How did straightening the legs affect what we're noticing in the upper body? The amount of pressure, the amount of soothing or ease. And feel the belly from the chest all the way down to the pubic bone, moving with breath. Now I'll invite us to see if we can encourage the inhales to slow down in the stream and lengthen. Lengthen the duration of the inhale without force. Relax the belly to allow more space for breath. And then lengthen the duration of the exhale. Tongue is soft, jaw is soft, back of the head sinking. Let go of resistance. Let go of doing. And experience your being right here. Open, elongated, inviting. On your next exhale, see if you can let your shoulders sink any heavier. Maybe surprise yourself with the arms, letting go a little more. And feel this glow, this hum of energy from within. If you haven't already walked the legs back in, take your time, and we'll spend a few breaths here in the return and feel how pressure is being alleviated. Notice what's changing. Notice what we're perceiving differently. And be kind and slow and patient as you lift the hips a bit. And we'll have to kind of ease the block or the pillow, both of them, out from under us. And we'll lower the hips down and feel this return. Ooh, feel what's changing. Feel those hips settling down a little lower, in touch with the surface. Coming into this return. I'll invite us to straighten the left leg, and we'll bring the right knee in toward the chest. No strain, try not to use the arms so we're not muscling this leg around. And we'll let this right knee fall to the left. Some of you might prefer to have a pillow down over here to let the knee rest on, especially if that knee is nowhere near finding the earth. Others of you, your bodies may have already just fallen straight over into this spinal twist, the most intense twist we've had all day. You could put blankets under the arms for a little support. You want to get yourselves into as comfortable a position so that the body isn't working to stay and it isn't fighting to get out. We just get to experience the body in this shape. Feel what the hips and the low back have to say. Being asked to move in this way. To hold and be calm in this way. Inhales completing themselves. Exhale completing itself. Whatever that pace is for you, we all have a different draw and pace of breath. We're all finding what our capacity is and possibility is in breath. We just get to lay here and feel it all happening, not doing. One more breath, intentional, inhale and exhale. And we'll come back to that return. Maybe giving it a hug, maybe not. Some of you may wish to do a hip circle. We're listening to what would feel good, would feel at ease, bringing us to a harmony. And we'll eventually change legs and feel the body acclimating to this shape, letting go of tension in the shoulders, in the hands, in the arms, feeling the breath navigate through you in this shape. Maybe call to mind your intention once again of how you want to be with you. And in our own time, we'll start to let that left knee cross over the body. And as I said, maybe have that pillow on this side, letting that leg rest, accepting support, seeking support. Leaning into support so we can let go. Trust that support. Recenter your awareness in time and space. Where are you? Recenter in the physical body. Where are you? Recenter in your breath. Center in being enough, because you are. Here is enough. This body is enough. This breath is enough. And we'll come out of that twist, patient when we're ready. Do any motions that you feel that you need. And then we'll center again, just hugging that knee. Let the spine rest on the mat. We'll draw both knees up. Don't yank or tug. Just feel its natural stop point. Arms don't have to do a lot of work. Legs don't have to do a lot of work. And maybe rock. That's a maybe. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe it doesn't feel good. Or maybe we're actually letting ourselves find our natural cradle rock. Feeling body weight shift from side to side across the spinal column. Feeling different bones in the ribs, the shoulders, the hips, even the back of the head, rolling and shifting. Notice your breath. And we'll slowly roll to one side and just find a fetal position. If you want to place your head on a pillow, if you want to tuck yourselves in, bringing the arms behind the hamstrings, that's all up to you. And just feel the body resting on its side. Feel the body cradled, protected. Nurturing. Let the head go, let the shoulders soften. And we'll eventually bring ourselves back upright to a seated space. No rush. No rush. Maybe have your back resting against the wall, just as we did in the beginning. Truly returning. Feel this return. I'll invite us to bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, feeling this deliberate touch. So deliberately touch your heart. Deliberately touch your belly. Feel yourself transmitting the care, the forgiveness, the compassion you have for you. And deep breath in if you wish to join. Sigh it out the mouth. And hands returning to the heart center. And call to mind that intention you had. And we cup that intention in our hands, holding it near and dear to our heart, and take that intention with us off the mat into all of our actions, our words, and our intentions. All of the love and the light in me is deeply grateful for all of the love and light in you. That is English for namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. Joanne, oh my God, I love you, Joanna. And Carmen knows the word namaste. She wags her tail and knows that it's the end of practice. And so she always comes and gives me love because she hears the namaste. I think she also says, and that means that I get to go outside. Oh, so good to see you, dear friend. Thank you all so much for joining for our rather impromptu yoga live. And this will be available on the YouTube. If you want to come back and do another restorative practice, you can always drop into the studio, which is at the former Otto Middle School off of Larch in North Lansing. Go to justbeyoga.com if you want to check out more about our classes. And yeah, it's been my honor. I hope everyone has a lovely evening. And take care of yourselves. Peace.